critics slamming Ivanka Trump for sitting in for President Trump at a table of world leaders at the G20 summit. President Trump defending Ivanka, tweeting out this morning, if Chelsea Clinton were asked to hold the seat for her mother, as her mother gave our country away, the fake news would say, Chelsea for Prez. Chelsea Clinton tweeting back, good morning, Mr. President. It would never have occurred to my mother or my father to ask me, were you giving our country away? Hoping not. Independent Women's Forum Patricia Lee Onwuka and The Hill's Judy Kurtz, as well as Democratic strategist Robin Biro, all with me right now. Robin, you say Ivanka had no business at all being there? Why not?
That's exactly what I said. I do think, though, Trish, maybe we're just overanalyzing this. Perhaps the president just needed to go reapply some bronzer. But I do say that Ivanka Trump had no business being there. I do say that she had no business being there. Angela Merkel did go on to say that anybody from the U.S. delegation could be there, but she's simply not qualified. And frankly, it reeks of nepotism. The textbook definition of nepotism is favoritism shown to close friends or relatives by giving them jobs with power. So by definition, this is nepotism.
Well, what do you say about this, Judy? I mean, he's just stepping out for a little bit. It's an issue that she cares about. She does work for him anyway, so we have already been through some of that nepotism stuff. Did she have a right to sit in?
Trish, this might go under the non-story Hall of Fame. Listen, Ivanka Trump is sitting at the cool kids table in the cafeteria, and her critics are pouncing on this, saying she's throwing food and acting like she shouldn't even be in the school. Ivanka Trump has a top-level position in the White House. She was keeping her father's seat warm for a few minutes. It's hardly unprecedented, I would say, and it really just boils down to one thing, and that's her critics have a problem with her last name, that she's the daughter of President Trump.
It's interesting to me that you say that, Judy, and you think about how she was regarded and how she was treated before her father decided to run for president, and before her father successfully got the presidency. And I think it was very different. Patricia, is there something to that the media liked her a whole lot better before she was a Republican, before she was a conservative, before she was in politics?
I think it's pretty fair to say that she was everyone's favorite when she was rubbing elbows with Chelsea Clinton and sharing stories, rubbing elbows with Chelsea. But I think what's interesting, to go back to the original point here, the moment she stepped in was at a critical discussion about development in Africa. And when we consider that her father had committed $50 million to a women's entrepreneurship initiative, of which she had a hand in creating, I think it's pretty fair to say that she actually had some credibility sitting at the table and being part of that discussion.
So, Robin, what do you say to that, since you don't like this whole thing?
Yeah, no. What credibility? Her business degree from the University of Philadelphia. I mean, I don't.
University of Pennsylvania, by the way, Ivy League school. I'll just, I didn't go there, but darn good school. So I wouldn't put down her education, Robin.
Okay, well, let's talk about her position, though. Daughter-in-chief, to me, it's her only claim to fame that I can tell is that she is a fantastic handbag designer. So why are you saying that she's qualified to hold this position, even if it is just for a few brief moments? There were certainly far more qualified people to sit there and hold the fort down.
Mm-hmm. Judy, you want to take a stab at that?
There seems to be this growing war on Ivanka. Listen, a lot of her critics say she is more likable maybe than her father, and they expect her to be able to change his positions and do Mission Impossible and change policy. And I think that's an unrealistic expectation for her.
She's an interesting woman in that she's very much a part of the modern workforce. She's a woman who's got little kids. She's married. She works, she has her own company, and now she is thrust into this position where she's having some influence on policy. And clearly, Patricia, there are people out there that really don't like it. Do you think it's a double standard, though? If this were suddenly Chelsea Clinton, if her mother had been elected, and Chelsea Clinton was taking on a more important role from a policy perspective, or being asked to sit in for a few minutes, would the media have a problem with that the way they do Ivanka?
I think the media wouldn't have a problem, but I think a lot of people on the left would have a problem because they're on Twitter saying, Chelsea, don't run for office, don't be president. So I think it's very interesting to see how there's such negative backlash against Ivanka Trump, and whether she's, because of her background as an entrepreneur, or using her platform and her influence to get $50 million for women's development overseas and entrepreneurship, then I don't think there's any need to question whether she's actually delivering on something of value to women around the world.
All right, we got a lot coming up. Thanks so much to the whole team. We have Senator Cornyn here, and he's